Wait. Okay. Oh, are we ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Okay, good.
We were born ready. And
Born, yes,
yeah.
amen. Okay, so there's so many things that we can talk to you about, about how to be an effective person, just to be effective in life, not just in missions. But one of the things that came to me was I've been doing some correspondence courses on Christian counseling through Dr. Troy Reiner in Wichita, Kansas, and I have completed 5 courses of this correspondence courses. I'm working on my 5th one on addictions. And one of the areas that I found very interesting was attachment styles. That we all have a different attachment style.
Yes.
And my question to you is how well do you attach to people? And I guess this can go as well with boundaries, knowing your boundaries. But I was telling Stefania just a moment ago that I remember when I was here full time. The last 5 years I've been back and forth more than here. I'm actually in the States more than I'm in Cameroon. But when I was here full time, and I would have developed, and during the 4 or 5 months that I would be in the States, I would develop healthy relationships with friends. One of the things I noticed I would do is as I was preparing to getting closer to my return to Cameroon, I would begin to pull back from people. I would begin to shy away from people because I knew I wasn't going to see them for several months. And it was, I guess you could say it was a bit of a disappointment because here my level of relationships with people, as I had said before in some of the other videos, that I can't be buddies with people here because I lead here. I have a leadership position in this city and country for that matter. And so I want to talk a little bit about developing a healthy attachment style. And I'm using Dr. Reiner's book, Faith Therapy, on how to develop different psychological issues. He's a psychologist, but he has some great books about how to counsel people, and I found it to be very enlightening to me. So we'll just take a couple of different video times to talk about this. And so I want to talk about a secure attachment style.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
No,
You got any?
no.
Okay.
I'm
I
following.
know as I go, you'll get you something. God will give you something.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know this isn't something that I've studied this out. In fact, I wrote a paper about it. And because I had an attachment disorder, I was afraid to get close to people because I didn't want to get hurt.
Yeah. That normally is the fear.
And so I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. And if you go on the mission field and you're working with other missionaries and you're working with the nationals, you have to have a healthy attachment style.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about it, about the secure attachment style. And then again, this is based on a servant heart. If you have a servant heart, you're going to be able to attach yourself, have a close, healthy relationship with people without offense.
Yeah.
That and you may get offended. There may be a moment of tenseness because when you live closely with people, you're going to have some moments of tenseness, and it's okay. You're a person.
You're human.
I think Stefania and I have had that issue a few times, and we work through it. We do. And I've had other missionaries here, and I've had to work through it, and it's okay. You're when you're like you're in close proximity for several weeks with people. It's like, let me poke your eyes out,
Yeah, I can't stand you anymore. Can I go for your neck?
But if you know how to develop have an idea about yourself, whether, I don't know why my thing keeps fading in and out.
I don't know.
It's weird.
Well,
Okay, well let's
see.
just go. Let's see. Okay, so the first requirement for a secure attachment style is that we view ourselves as worthy of love and capable of obtaining love. So my question to you, do you feel worthy of giving love and obtaining love? I don't know. We can look at some scriptures here at 1 Samuel 13 about 1 Samuel 13 about the Jonathan. Jonathan was that his name means was given. It's a biblical example of a secure attacher. We know that Jonathan had a close relationship with David.
Yes.
And we know
Yes.
that they had a brotherly relationship.
Yes.
In fact, it was Jonathan that kept his father from killing David
Yeah. He protect his life.
to protect his life. So that's a secure attachment style.
Yeah.
The second requirement, or the thing I want to say, is: do you view yourself as worthy of love and capacity of obtaining love? Do you feel like you can be loved? Okay? Do you feel lovable?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like to love people? Be careful not to love too much. Again,
Yeah.
there's boundaries. Okay, the second requirement for attachment, a secure attachment, is to view others as trustworthy to provide a safe haven for us. In other words, are you afraid to attach to people because you're afraid they will hurt you?
You don't trust them.
Yes. You don't trust
Or you
them.
trust them only in part.
Yes. And so and we know that although it might be hard for us to believe that anyone, even Saul's son, could view Saul as reliable. And I'm sure Saul was not a reliable attachment source for Jonathan. That's probably why he had such a secure attachment with David.
Yeah, he probably doubt his father behavior.
Yes.
You know?
And so we see that. And so, we know that there was an issue there. Now, number 3, since no one on earth can ever be totally relied upon in all circumstances, truly secure attachment place is there a ultimate reliance is upon God.
Absolutely. He's the one you can trust anytime, any moment, anywhere.
Right. So do you really do you trust God, to rely on him, that you can attach to God?
That's the problem. You see, sometimes we don't trust him.
Yes. Well, and again, how can you love the God you don't see
Yeah.
if you don't love the brother you do see?
Especially if you didn't have a very good father image. So it's difficult to see God as a good father when you didn't have a good image in front of your eyes.
Yes.
So, it's... but at the end of the day, is the only one you can trust completely.
Yes.
I know, and even if you trust people and they end up, abusing your trust or hurting you, that's okay. It's just part of the game. Mm-hmm. Amen. So don't be upset just because they hurt you so much that now you're not open. You're not able to open yourself to anybody else. Because that is the beauty when you discover people, that they are not all the same, they are all made different.
Yes.
So it's not because one person has hurt you that everybody else is going to hurt you. And actually, God is the one who will never, ever, ever hurt you.
Yes. And Jonathan is a good example of this,
Mm-hmm.
because he did rely on God, and he relied on God so much that he was his father's armor bearer.
Yeah.
In spite of his whatever Saul's issues were.
Yeah.
And so but he was completely dependent upon God. Now, those with secure attachment styles are able to freely give themselves without requiring anything in return.
Correct. Why do you want to be a friend with someone? What is the motive behind?
Mm-hmm.
You remember, we go back to what we said at the beginning. When we are here, sometimes everybody want to know and want to meet us.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that most of the time, the motives that they want to meet us, they're not good.
Yes.
So we might come out a little bit, cold,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just because we know. But you see, if you can go to a place and just be friend with person, just be friend, just be yourself.
Yes.
Especially be yourself.
See, this is what he writes. He said, they are able to attach closely with others at the deepest level without fear of losing their own identity. Love is an emotion that results from the attachment. So are you able to attach to people in a healthy way? Are you afraid to get too close to people?
Maybe because they discover who you are exactly.
And you don't want anybody to see who you are? See, that was Saul's problem.
Yeah.
Saul had a very unhealthy attachment disorder, and we'll talk about him in a minute. But Jonathan and David were a very good picture of a healthy attachment style. And I know some social people, some social gathering, I don't know what the word is. There's a certain kind of people that thank you. A certain kind, I'm trying to be very careful how I'm saying it. I'm having a hard time finding my word. But some people say that this is where they give the excuse for homosexuality.
Yeah, where everything started.
That's where it is. But they did not have a homosexual relationship. They just were able to attach themselves in a healthy manner.
Because, you know, if they were in such a contact, we know that Jonathan was, he had a very close relationship with the Lord. Do you think that with this close relationship, the Lord would have allowed that? Or they would have even think to have an unnatural relationship?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, and yes, if it was a healthy relationship, it would not have been, it would be a natural relationship as brothers.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're into too many minutes, so anyhow, we have to go, and we will continue this and talk about attachment style, and we'll talk about the different types. There are 4 kinds of attachment styles. Maybe we can give you some ideas on what yours might be, so you can help. Again, you need to know yourself.
Yes, you do.
Okay?
You do.
All right, bye.
Bye.